When you are laser focused in on something, and you know that the people around you, no matter how long you have known them, how much you love them, you know that they may be hindering you, it's time to move around. I feel like people don't really reach their highest potential, or really don't see as much success as they want to see, because they focus so much on being so loyal to their day ones and their loved ones and family, so on and so forth, that it almost kind of keeps them stagnant, or keeps them in the same place, or kind of stops them from becoming all of what they dreamed of becoming. Not too long ago, a few days ago, I was watching a documentary of uh it was a documentary about Jermaine Jackson and Michael Jackson, but it was specifically telling the dynamic between the two brothers, right? So yeah, when they grew up, they were really, really close. But as they got older and Michael went solo and he started, really gaining success, Jermaine kind of felt some type of way, because he felt like, for one, he felt like Michael wasn't being loyal to his family, and he wasn't being loyal to the people who put him on, which was Motown. If you do know, they started with Motown Records, and eventually they ended up leaving. And then Michael, once he left, he was like, I'm not going backwards. Like, I want to keep going. I don't see the need to look back. um However, you had Jermaine, who was so hell bent on being loyal to the Motown family and just being loyal to family in general, that he wasn't able to see as much success as Michael did. So I think, if I can remember, I believe Jermaine ended up staying with Motown for, I think, about 20 years. I could be making it up. Don't quote me. But it was a very long time he was there. And we know Jermaine, unless you grew up in the era and you know his songs, but we know Jermaine as Michael Jackson's brother, or one of the members of Jackson 5. We don't know Jermaine on his own, or as a solo artist. And throughout the whole documentary, I kept seeing a pattern, that Jermaine was just trying so hard to get this success, but he refused to step outside of his comfort zone, or to leave, not to necessarily leave the people behind, but it's almost as if he was afraid to, like, somehow break tradition, or break some type of code, because he was so hell bent on staying around family, or staying with the Motown record label. And we see how that went. I don't see anything wrong with being loyal. Don't get me wrong. There's absolutely, loyalty is very important, but I find that a lot of people are more loyal to people who are outside of them, rather than being loyal to themselves. Some people do have these great, great dreams, and these, huge aspirations, these things that they want to be in life. I feel like there's nothing wrong with wanting to be loyal to that dream and that success, because sometimes you have to leave people where they are. Like, you kind of do have to leave people behind. Not everybody is meant to come with you where you're going. Not everybody can go where you're going, because not everybody is meant to go there. Not everybody is prepared, or just in the space to do the work hard, heal, what I'm saying, step outside of their comfort zone, and all of the other things that requires you to find success, or to really, get all of the things that you want in life. So I feel like people think that the moment they leave the old friends behind, or they leave their family behind, they feel like it's the ultimate betrayal. But I disagree. I have to disagree. I just don't believe that you can reach your highest potential staying in the same place and staying in the same environments. Everybody needs to get out and see the world. Everybody needs different environments. Even, like, when you think about it, I hate to use this example, but when you think about it, you think about plants, right? You can get a plant, buy a brand new plant, and it's in soil and it's in the pot and it's doing just fine. And then eventually the plant just goes to shit. In my old videos, which you don't have to go back and look at them, but in one of my videos, you can kind of see I had a pothos plant behind me, and she was growing like crazy. She was like starting to wrap around the floor and things like that. But then out of nowhere, she was lively and she was green. And then out of nowhere, she started turning yellow, she started browning, and she started dying. And I had to eventually cut off all of those dead leaves, and kind of started over, right? But she had been in that pot that flower pot in that soil for so long, it's like it's not that she necessarily became a bad plant. She just needed a different environment to grow. Now, fast forward, she's growing like crazy. She's back to being tall as hell. And it's because I changed her environment. I cut off, for one, I cut off the dead leaves, the stems that were not, I guess, getting the water, getting the nutrients that they needed, and then I put her in a whole different environment so she can grow. And now she's growing like crazy. So I think people get so caught up in, oh well, yeah, I got all of these different skills and these talents and these things that I want to do, but they get so caught up in, but I don't want people to think that I'm acting funny, and I don't want people to tell me that I'm changing, and I don't want people to tell me that the money I got is changing me, and the views I got, and the attention and just the recognition that I'm getting is changing me. Because a lot of the times that's not the case anyways. Some people, a lot of people, when they see you growing and they see you doing better, they don't want that to happen, because it's, I can't necessarily say that it's a personal thing. It's a, it depends on the situation, but I think for the most part, it's more so a case of, we come from the same place. Why is it that you have somehow made it out, or somehow beat the odds, or failed to become a statistic? You have found success, found the growth, and you are doing everything that you said you were going to do, but I haven't. Instead of taking responsibility for not reaching the heights that they could have reached, which is possible for everybody. Everybody, is capable of reaching, wherever goal they see they want for themselves. But it's almost as if they want to blame you, or they want to somehow bring you back down to where they are, because they don't want you to be somewhat, quote unquote, better than them or higher than them. So when I say that I feel like people's undying loyalty to their day ones is holding them back, I really mean that. I don't mean, um, oh, you need to start snaking people and treating people any type of way, and lying and betraying and being a conniving ass person. But I mean that when you are hell bent, when you have this eye of the tiger, when you are laser focused in on something, and you know that the people around you, no matter how long you have known them, how much you love them, you know that they may be hindering you. It's time to move around. It's time to pack your shit and go. It's time to say, okay, you know what? This was fun while it lasted. I learned what I needed to learn. I learned the lessons. I really enjoyed. I had a good time. And it's honestly no hard feelings. It's no beef. I'm not into it with nobody. But I just know that the life that I see for myself, I have to go and get it. And I cannot let anybody stop that by any means necessary. I keep bringing up, but I have to mention celebrities because I don't know who else to use. But I mean, think about one of the biggest stars currently right now, Beyonce. Imagine if Beyonce never left Destiny's Child. Imagine if she never went solo. Imagine if she was just so caught up in, being loyal and, wanting to bring the girls with her everywhere, which she still does. But technically, I don't think she may not have had the success that she has if she did not take that leap of faith. If she did not realize that, okay, I know I have this dream and it's time for me to really just get to it. It's really time for me to hit the ground running. And whoever is with me when I hit the ground running, that's great. And if you're not with me, that's fine too. But regardless, I'm going to get what I need. I think sometimes people, when they see you so laser focused on bettering yourself, it's like they take it personal. It's like they somewhat feel some sort of entitlement over your life and your success and the things that you do. That the moment you say to yourself, no, this is what I want from my life, and I don't care who I have to leave behind in the process. I'm going to get this, whether it's I'm going to get that peace of mind. I'm going to start that business. I'm going to get this job. I'm going to go to get that role. I'm going to go, become a manager or whatever the case is. It's almost as if they feel like, how dare you have goals and try to reach them? It's like, how dare you actually want better for yourself? How dare you actually want to get out and try? How dare you actually try to, like, beat the odds and X, Y, Z? And I find that Damn, I had a thought and I lost it, but please come back to me because I really want to say this. It's definitely a blessing to have people who are your day one still be with you while you have, are reaching success. You look at Rihanna, she has had the same best friend for years. I think they've been best friends since like high school, and she's still there right or die day one. Beyonce and Kelly, they've known each other since they were 9 years old, and the list goes on. But and don't get me wrong, that is a blessing. But while you may have that one friend or that one family member who no matter what, they're going to be with you and they're going to help you. They don't mind being with you while you are working hard and grinding to become the person that you want to become. You're going to have some people who are very threatened by your potential and threatened by your, just the skills that you have and the talent that you have, because you just are that great. And they somehow just find a way to make your success and you having a better life about them. It's almost like, just, people just have a habit of projecting their own insecurities and their own misfortunes and blaming other people else for their lives. So of course, if that's the type of person I am, and then I see my friend going out and becoming everything that she said she was, I'm gonna have a fit, because I want to be America's next top fucking model, and this bitch is in the fashion show. She's modeling for Fenty. She's modeling for Louis Vuitton. Whatever the case is, of course I'm gonna feel some type of way, because instead of me, buckling down and having the courage to put myself out there, I'm sitting around just thinking that things are supposed to be handed to me, while my friend is actually going out there and getting it. You can't be so caught up in other people's feelings that you neglect your own needs and your own wants in this journey we call life. People get so they it's almost like they want this title of most, the bestest friend, the most loyal, the one who held you down the longest in XYZ. And it's like, you can have that title, but think about it. You can look up 10 years from now, all that time has passed. What have you done with your life? What have you done? You had this humongous ass dream to be this celebrity hairstylist. You had this huge dream of being these things, but you allowed yourself to give up on that dream in the name of loyalty, in the name of, oh, you don't forget about where you come from. You don't forget about the ones who was with you when you had nothing. That's not that's just not the case. And I hate when people do that, because that's ultimately just like the ultimate guilt trip. Instead of like them, they're just trying to guilt trip you and make you feel bad for wanting better for yourself. That's all it is. Everybody's different. Some people do get success and act like they too good. That's very true. Some people do get success and act like they are just too good to go back, go back home or talk to the people who were on the come up with them, X, Y, and Z. But in a lot of cases, it's not that people forget where they come from or they forget who was with them when they had nothing. When you start to experience life and you start to want better things, and you meet so many different people from different walks of life, and you have your own lessons and your own breakthroughs and your own epiphanies, sometimes when you reach a different mindset and you look back, those people who you came up with, they are still in that same mindset. They have not grown mentally. They have not evolved as people. They are the same people. They've been the same for years, decades, even. So it's somewhat hard to try to go back. It's somewhat hard to go back and just want to kick it and want to hang out, because maybe you no longer align with those people anymore. Maybe y'all just have outgrown each other, or maybe you just outgrown them and they just refuse to do so, or whatever the case is. But I don't think it's necessarily always that people just get a certain amount of success, money, etc., and forget where they come from, or they think they better than people. I think it's just about wanting to keep that success and wanting to keep progressing, as a person, and evolving mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, whatever the thing, what not whatever the case is, but etc, etc. And people just look at it, people just see it as some sort of like threat to their own potential or to their own, lives, or just they just like to blame other people for their own misfortunes. So I just find it to be a huge theme for people. That really stuck out to me when I was watching the documentary. I love Michael Jackson. So when I watched it, I was like, I'm looking at a pattern, and it seems like Jermaine is trying so hard, so badly to hold on to this thing when he should have let it go a long time ago. And that's another thing, because it doesn't even have to be that you have this undying loyalty to friends or family. It could be the fact that you are holding on to this one thing that may have worked for you in the past, but it's not working anymore. It may be the fact that you, maybe let's just say, you put out a product and it went crazy, but now it's not going crazy no more. I feel like that's not necessarily saying that you lack in the area. It's just saying that it's time to choose something different. Maybe it's time to try different, and it's time to go down a different path. Like, he kept trying to put out the same music. He kept trying to appeal to a younger audience, and before we knew it, he was in his late 30s still trying to appeal to teenagers. And it's like, you, at some point, you have to shift, you have to grow, you have to evolve, because if not, nobody is gonna want to hear that. Nobody is gonna want to, you know really take part in what you putting out. Nobody's gonna want to buy it or tune in, or whatever the case is. Like, nobody's gonna want to do that. So it may not even be your undying loyalty to your loved ones. It might be the fact that you will not let that thing go. Like, you want that old thing back, and it's old, and it's old, it's played out, and it's time for something new. The thing is, when it comes to, I guess, outgrowing your environment or needing something different, the thought of change can be extremely scary, because when change comes, or when it's time to do something different, that means whatever's about to happen, you really don't have any idea what's about to happen. You don't know what to expect. And we as people want to be in control of just about everything. If we as people are feeling like we don't have control over something, then we feel like, it's not gonna, excuse me, we're not going to succeed in the way that we did in the past, or we're not going to be as good as we were in the past. So I can imagine why some people are afraid to let go of old things that worked in the past. But I just think that if you are doing something, and that could be spending time with a certain group of people, having you have these certain daily habits, and you look up one day and you see that it's no longer benefiting you. It just seems like a cycle that you're in, or a pattern that you're in because it's comfortable. It just seems like something that you're doing because you're just used to doing it. Then it's time to maybe break free and do something different. And you will know when it's time to do that, because it will almost become very exhausting to do these things. It would be like it doesn't bring you any more excitement, any more happiness. It just doesn't fulfill you like it used to. So then it's time to let go of that thing that you were once so loyal to. It's time to let go of it and invite something new in. So when you say it's time, your undying loyalty to something can hinder you, it can be to anything. Because there's so many people who are sitting on so much talent and so many skills and so many things that they can be thriving in, but they refuse to move differently, or they refuse to change when change is knocking at their door. They're refusing to allow that change to happen. They're refusing to evolve. They're refusing to just, try something new or try something different, you know so they end up being stagnant in a way. I was also about to touch on something else. I can't remember. I lose it. And maybe it just needs to go into another video, so I won't bring it up in this video. But yeah, if you are around someone, or you have these habits, but it feels like they are more so draining you than anything, it may be time for you to hang up that chapter in your life and do something different. So it may be time for you to suck it up, swallow your pride, and welcome that change, you know, welcome that evolution and bring in those new experiences and those different, people into your life. Yeah, I wanted to touch on that topic because I myself I myself am learning more so to break old habits, not necessarily people, because I don't really have a as the years have gone by, I've kind of learned when it's time for me to walk away from relationships, both platonic and romantic and family relationships. So I don't really struggle with keeping people around me longer than they need to be around me, or staying around people longer than I need to be around. But when it comes to habits, I have, found myself struggling to break certain habits. But I find that that's what may be hindering me from, getting to that next step or getting to that next chapter, or actually, taking myself to the next level. So me myself being hella loyal to things that no longer serve me, but I'm just doing it because it just feels natural and I've been doing it for so long. That's my whole, spiel, I guess you can say. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know now in the comments what y'all think. I feel like I said now in the comments, but let me know down in the comment section below some of your thoughts and some of your opinions on this. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.